Hello, welcome to Jeff Schwartz's Smarter Than You. Jeff Schwartz's Smarter Than You is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. This is Wednesday, September 3rd. I'm Jeff Schwartz alongside Matt Ford. It's our second of 3 episodes this week. We recapped the weekend of college football with a little bit of NFL news. And then on Thursday, we're going to put out our podcast with our week 1 best bets. There's already some that Matt and I are going to have. They're going to be gross as can be, but absolutely the right side. And today, on this episode, we have our last of the division previews, the NFC West, the AFC West. And as usual, we have $1,000 to spend per division. I think we've spent $1,000 max, except one of the South divisions, was like $970. We have some rollover. We have $2,000 to work with to make $10,000 total. We might not get to use all $2,000. So what we'll do is like we did last year before that, we'll use it for in-season wagers if we don't get all the way there. I still might lay that Bills price, Matt, to win the division as one of our big wagers here as we get to the 10,000. And it's time to talk some West, some AFC, NFC West. First of all, how are you? I know you're not a big college football fan, but did you watch college football this weekend?
I did, actually. Hey, Jeff. I watched the undoing of the UNC football program last night, 2 nights ago now. That was quite enjoyable to watch, I got to be honest. And then I watched a lot of Texas OSU also. So I did, for me, I watched a good amount. And Miami Notre Dame. I watched that. I actually bet on that one. I bet Miami money line, and I took Ohio State in the points thanks to your breakdown on the show last week. So I had a profitable weekend.
Nice.
And, maybe it's just helpful. I find I'm better at betting sports I don't watch that much. Like, if I follow them sort of and don't watch all the time, I'm better at it. I don't know what that says about me, but I think I'm able to sift through the arguments a little more clearly. Maybe, I don't know.
So we should watch no college, no NFL then. Just guess as we go along, which feels I imagine like we're guessing a lot of times for people listening. We're not guessing. We're giving educated guesses.
We watch so much, and it makes it worse. I don't understand how it works, but. I guess that's a good segue into here's our winning wagers for both the NFC and AFC West. Let's start with the AFC West. Let's give the people what they want, and let's talk about your team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Their win total is at 11.5. You actually are getting a little bit of juice on the over at plus 110, minus 350 to make the playoffs, minus 115 to win the division. I have a feeling we're going to be throwing some money out there, Jeff, on the Chiefs and their futures. Lead us off.
Okay, Matt, am I crazy? Minus 115 for the division? Am I nuts? This is an insane. It's insane price. It's an insane price.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't. The Chiefs have won the division now, I think 9 years in a row, and they're better this season. I cannot stress this enough to everyone. They're a better team. Yeah, Rashid Rice is out for 6 games, but Xavier Worthy year 2. Hollywood Brown's healthy this year. Wasn't healthy last season. Travis Kelce has lost 20 pounds very clearly last season, right? Very clear. Big article last week. He lost the weight. He went back to his old trainer in Florida, and they did a quiet workout this offseason. He was on world tour with his girlfriend and now fiance. It's dedicated to football. To me, this is a last hurrah for the Chiefs with this current group of Chiefs, right? Yep. And offensively, they're going to push the ball down the field more. Defensively, they're fine. Matt, this is my favorite wager of the entire NFL offseason is this one right here.
I couldn't agree more. And I got to be honest, I bet their win total over, I think I want to say in March, maybe it was even February when it came out at 11.5. I don't know what the deal is with the skepticism on this team. Last year, they won 15, obviously. They did have an 11-6 year the year before, but other than that, they haven't gone under 11 since they only won since 2017, and that was when Alex Smith was the quarterback. Yeah. So I love the divisional bet. I'm pretty much down on all the other teams in this division. I agree with you that they're better, and I think they're going to be pissed off this year finally. They haven't really had a chance to they haven't had a real chip on their shoulder in a while. And this game Friday, if they end up winning in Brazil against the Chargers, they're kind of in the driver's seat, honestly. They'll have a game up on them, which I feel like happens early in the season every year. And their schedule isn't too bad. Everybody good is on there, but they'll figure it out. They always do. So I'm a huge buyer in the Chiefs. Love to win the division and love their win total over.
So I didn't play the win total overs. I feel like it's sort of the same bet, the win total over and division. Like they're probably not going to win 12 games to lose division, Matt.
Yeah, but you're getting plus odds on the over 11.
I know. Okay. Two props for Kansas City that I think three, I should say. Mahomes MVP plus 700.
I like it.
Wagered on already. That's in. And Travis Kelce. Let's start Travis Kelce. So right now in DraftKings, his receiving number is 700.5. Okay, that would be the lowest of his career, Matt. Last year, 823. The previous year, 984 in 15 games. And then he had 1,000 yards for 8 seasons before that in a row. 700 yards, Matt, for a guy who admittedly decided to get in better shape and to be more shifty, to be able to he didn't break tackles all last season.
Yeah.
Yes, please. What? Yes, sign me up for that. I don't get this number at all. Especially with Rice being out for the first 6 games. If they were all healthy, okay, I get it. Like they're all playing. Like yeah, maybe they're going away from Kelce, but in every big moment, who's Mahomes turn to? Travis Kelce.
Yep. Yeah, it's been the case for years. And last year he had people act like, he didn't have like an amazing year by his standards, but he still is targeted 133 times by the best quarterback in the sport. 97 catches, and I think Xavier Worthy didn't really come on until later in the year. Obviously the Rice thing, I think that kind of cut him both ways because he took some targets away and then he also wasn't there to take any attention away from Kelce for part of the season. So I don't know. I'm with you. I feel like a total square because obviously everyone is like, well, his numbers are going to be inflated because of the Taylor thing, but I feel like people are just overthinking.
They're not. That's not really inflated. That's not really inflated anyways.
Yeah. It's it would be by far the worst year of his career. I think the Mahomes MVP thing is interesting too. It's kind of been a while by his standards. He was the number 5 player in the NFL top 100. Certainly, I'm sure he will notice that. I don't know. I think everyone's just kind of fatigued this team, and it's a buying opportunity for us.
It absolutely is. One more I'd like to hit on if you don't mind here.
Sure.
Isaiah Pacheco under 725.5 rushing yards.
Okay, interesting.
They drafted this kid Smith. I think Smith's gonna get a lot of carries this year. And Pacheco is just not a high, he just doesn't not break the tackles. That's the wrong way to put it. He doesn't have a lot of breakaways. It's not the type of player he is. They need someone. Look, his longest rush of his 31 yards in 2022, 48 yards in 2023, 34 yards last season. Those are not that long for longest rush of the season for a starting running back. That he's just not, and he got hurt last year. I just think that they're going to give Smith a lot more carries this season, the young kid. And I don't think Pacheco will go over this number.
Yeah, I like that. I think there's just going to be like a lot of everybody eats on that offense.
Correct.
Elijah Mitchell too, kind of a forgotten signing. Just for the record, by the way, last year 700 yards, like that's what Wan'Dale Robinson had. Tucker Kraft had 707. Bravery McLeod 686. That's what we're talking about for Travis Kelce. Like I think we should definitely hammer the over there.
But I'm looking at the long rushes last season for running backs. Henry 87, Guarnero 76, 72 for Barkley, 70 for Taylor, 70 for Gibbs, James Cook 65, and Pacheco, what did I say, 31. It's like what that always hurt a little bit last season. I get that. But that's still Mahomes' longest rush last year was 34. Mahomes' longest rush last year was 33 yards. He's not breaking a ton of these. I don't think he's going to be the primary guy all season. So that's my anti Pacheco take right there.
I like that. Wasn't there some running back was it Eddie George? It was somebody who never got over a 20-yard rush in their whole career. Do you remember that?
I don't. I can't be Eddie George, can it?
Yeah, Eddie George. Shout out Eddie George. You good on the Chiefs, or we have more ways to make money off of them?
We're good. We got enough wagers on them.
Okay, fair enough. Well, these are all kind of related to the Chiefs. The Denver Broncos, America's darling. Their win total is 9.5, 10.5. Make the playoffs. They're minus 165 plus 250 to win the division.
Yeah.
Dude, I am dying to fade this team. I can't be more of a seller. Where are you with these guys?
Quickly, in year one, Eddie George in Houston had a 76-yard touchdown run. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they moved to Tennessee. His longest rush was 40 yards.
Yeah, he just never broke a big one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. His next 8 years. The Broncos are interesting, Matt. I think they're actually a pretty good team.
Pretty good.
Good
team.
offensive line, really good defense, but the hype is so extreme that it feels like the only play to make is to fade them. Like you can't play
Absolutely.
on them. You only play against them at this moment as we record this now on September 2nd.
So they last year had a really surprising season, and they finish 10-7 last year.
So.
Yeah, 10-7. So I'm going to read you their 10 wins. Ready? They beat the Bucs in week 3. Clearly their best win of the year. Spoiler alert. They had just beaten Detroit the year before, or the week before, and then beat Philly the following week. So maybe it was a little bit of a letdown spot. They beat the Jets. They beat the Raiders twice. They beat the Saints. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Browns. They beat the Colts, and they beat the Chiefs backups. That's their wins. Their losses were Seattle, Pittsburgh, the Chargers twice, the Chiefs starters. Granted, that was a weird game. The Ravens by 30, the Bengals, and then they lost 31-7 in the playoffs to Buffalo. They didn't beat anybody. Like, no wonder Bo Nix looked fine. Like, he tore up the Saints and the Raiders. Like, I just think this team is getting such a benefit of people not really looking closely at it and saying, like, well, like, their defense is awesome. Like, yeah, their defense is very good. They're going to need it. They're playing against Herbert twice. They're playing against Mahomes twice. They're playing against Geno Smith and Pete Carroll twice. I just don't see it. I don't think they're going to go 0-17, but I don't see it with, a 10-11 win team. I think this is a nice spot to buy the under at 9.5. And nothing scares me about their entire offense. They just have like a really strong, well-coached defense that's going to keep them in games.
So what's the number? What's under 10.5? What's the juice here?
Minus 145. I would do it with under 9.5. Plus 115. Or how about miss the playoffs at plus 135? Like, I know that it's the
miss the playoffs feels hard unless you're high on the Chargers. Nope,
not high on the Chargers. Could potentially be another team I'm interested in talking about, but I'm out on. I think Denver to miss the playoffs is probably the way to zag on them a little. The under 9.5, like, could they go 9-8? Like, I think that's pretty reasonable considering,
So what's the missed playoffs price?
Plus 135.
Okay, I'm just marking.
They have a pretty light schedule. NFC East and AFC South. They play Cincy.
Wagers now, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Am I crazy? Like, am I supposed to be scared of Evan Ingram and RJ Harvey? Like, what are we doing here?
No, you're not. I think you're right there. The only way to play them now is to do that. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, 10.5 feels very safe. Under 10.5 feels very safe to me.
I put all of them down there. We could obviously as we go through this, we'll tweet out a graphic with all the actual plays that we make as we do this exercise here. Their running back room. I think. If you wanted to fade the running back room, you certainly can, but it's hard to find some of those numbers right now in DraftKings. I'm not going to fade Bo Nix. Okay, let me. You know what? I actually have a play for here. Nick Bonito minus 105 have 10 plus regular season sacks.
Ooh,
so last season, he had 14 sacks last year, 13.5 sacks last year. So year one, he didn't play much, started one game, had 1.5 sacks. Last year, 2 years ago, started 4 games, had 8 sacks. Last year was a full-time starter, had 13.5 sacks, Matt. So he keeps going up and up and up, and people will point to other guys on the roster around him that help him get the sacks, which is certainly fair. I mean, Allen, what he can do, whatnot, helps Bonito to clean up the sacks. Like the anti-take is that he just cleans up some of the sacks and doesn't generate them quite himself. But I mean, they're going to be ahead in a lot of games, Matt. They're going to rush the passer a ton. I like this over. Basically, I need 10 sacks, right? 10 plus sacks here, minus 105.
I like that. I mean, we could let's put that in, and I think we could fade Harvey. He's at 700 rushing yards, and I feel like J.K. Dobbins is going to have like his 3 games where he runs for 200 yards. Like I feel like that's going to be more of a committee than people expect.
Okay.
We could do that.
I put that down. I'm in for that. You
Sure.
know me. I'm in for all those.
Put the house on that one. Okay. Well, are you with me on Denver? You have them in the playoffs?
I would lean playoffs before I don't, but it's not the strongest take of mine.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see where you are on the next two. The Chargers, their total is 9.5. They're, I guess, projected to finish third. Minus 130 to make the playoffs, plus 110 to miss, plus 360 to win this division. I don't really know what to do with this team. I feel like people are kind of off of them, despite them sort of still being kind of a darling team. I don't know what to do. I think the win total's fair. What do you think?
Yeah. Are they going to finally realize the full potential of Herbert, right? And this is the question, Matt, because you have an offensive line injury already. Can your wide receivers catch? Like, it doesn't feel like a great skill position group quite yet still, right?
Yeah.
And if they're not, I don't think their team is as good as the Chargers or the Chiefs. And they might bludgeon teams to death because of the way they play. But it doesn't feel like they're going to be the team that people want them to be. I got to see it first as well. Look, I think we'll know a lot about them in week 1, Matt, if they're able to take care of business against the Chiefs. Chiefs -3, by the way, very juicy for that game.
Very.
On Friday night, and then we'll know more about them. I do actually like some props though with them. I think that Hampton is going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, the problem with with this market now is that it was like 16-1. It's now 8.5-1. So it's not the same market, but let me explain sort of why I think he'll get a lot. I think that Najee Harris obviously is not healthy at the moment or getting healthier at the moment. I wish there was a market to play his under. It's not up right now. I would have played it early this year, but it was 100 yards more than 100 yards less than it was when I got the text message about it. But they're gonna ride him, man. Like, he's gonna get all the touches, all the opportunities. They're gonna be ahead in games. They'll run the football. One thing last year the Chargers did really well at the end of games. They had a lot of long rushes to seal games because their offensive line just wears and wears and wears on people. So I just think Hampton, and look, it's 8.5-1. I get it, but I like him for offensive. I got a better number, but we're doing the show now, and all I can give you is the number that DraftKings has now.
I'm with it, man. This team, they had an offer to trade down in the first round. They didn't. Like this. I think last year they tried to play as if they had a future running back like Hampton is projected to be, and they didn't have that guy. Even though I think they did a pretty good impression, Edwards and Dobbins and the crew.
Yep.
I'm with you. I feel like they're gonna it's a Greg Roman offense. They're gonna force feed that run. It's funny, they were sort of just like Denver last year. I could make the same argument. Like, they just had no good wins. Like, they didn't beat anybody. And last year they were in the fourth quarter. They were they were 12-3-2 entering the fourth quarter to being tied, and they ended up being 11-6. So maybe not great for the old Justin Herbert in the clutch argument there. But yeah, I think look, they're going to be a well-coached team. They're going to be tough to play every week because of the physicality, just like Denver. I don't know. Neither of these teams really move me. I don't feel like there's a ton of upside, but I think their win total's about right. So
you're fine with just basically playing the Chargers as Hampton Rookie of the Year?
I like Hampton a lot too. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't really have a lean. Like, there's no real value in either side. So I don't have much on the Chargers. I do, however, have an opinion about the Raiders.
Okay, let's go.
So their win total is 6.5. It's minus 145 to take the over. They're plus 370 to make the playoffs, plus 2,000, plus 2,200 to win the division. I think this is your sleeper team. We haven't made like a really bold prediction on a team that goes from fourth place to the playoffs or whatever. And I feel like this is they have the right ingredients. last year they were a totally dead team, right? Like they had a coach who, was kind of a lame duck pretty early into the season. They had no coach, or sorry, they had no quarterback. They were injured all the time. This year they add a Hall of Fame coach in Pete Carroll. They add a very capable starting quarterback. They add the best player coming out of college in Ashton Jeanty, right? Like he might not end up being the best pro, but coming out of college, that was the guy who was the most NFL ready on draft day, right? Like I think that they just have a completely different identity and that they're just, they're pretty good. Like you look at them and like there's some stuff to be desired, but they're going to improve a lot. And I just feel like people are sleeping on them as a possible team because these other two teams in the division are so inflated.
So here's my question, Matt. So, first of all, you like them to win the division? Is that what we're going with? Or
No,
to make the
I like
playoffs?
them. I like them to make the
playoffs.
playoffs plus 370. I think that's the
Okay.
way to play them. I think we could also bump up their adjusted win total.
Yeah.
Like if they just beat, Denver, and if they split with the Chargers and the Broncos, like that gets them up to what, 7, like 6, 7 wins. Like they have a pretty light schedule. They play the AFC South like the rest of this division. Like I think they're going to beat up on some of these bad teams. And Pete Carroll, man, like what a career. The guy's just like never really had a down season. I think he was under 500 maybe once or twice in Seattle the whole time. So I'm a believer in him.
Okay. So the only thing that I think is hard for me is that I really don't know if they have enough good players to pull this off. Like
Fair.
if you look at their roster, it's not a roster that has a ton of high impactful players across the board. Now, obviously, Max Crosby's incredible. He plays like 98% of snaps. Unbelievable player.
And he missed
Deserves
all last year.
deserves a ton of credit for the way he plays, right? Um, and then who else on defense are you like, well, that's a dude.
Yeah. Well, the one guy is no longer on the team, probably. So yeah,
Correct.
they've had kind of a strange offseason.
Right. And they have younger players in the secondary they like, and maybe by the end of the year they are the dude, but they don't have a ton of those guys now. Offensively, Cole Miller, I think, is still good, but getting up in age. JPJ might be good at right guard, right, as he gets older. Glaze, I'm questionable at right tackle. Obviously, Gino can play. We know that Brock Bowers can play, and we know that at Jeanty, we think, right, can be really good. But who are the impact wide receivers? Mark Cooper is not that guy anymore, right?
No.
Is it Dante Thornton, who they drafted? Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers? Like, that's my problem, Matt. I like your premise of it, but I don't know if they have the dues to pull it off. It can happen if things work out and Pete Carroll develops guys pretty quickly.
Yeah, you talked about the roster weaknesses. I don't think you included Bowers in your discussion of the wide receivers. And Jacoby Myers, like everybody's fantasy darling, 1,000-yard receiver last year with that assembly of quarterbacks. And a decent amount of buzz about some of these other receivers, but like Geno Smith, man, he's been one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. He's incredible indoors. That's something that a lot of people have been pointing out lately. Indoors, 14 starts with Seattle, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Obviously, the Raiders a dome home team. Outdoors, 43 touchdowns, 31 interceptions. Much different. And I think they have a really easy blueprint to succeed on offense. And then defensively, they still have Patrick Graham, who they kept, even though they fired Antonio Pierce. I think, they're going to be in a lot of these physical AFC West kinds of games. And I just think, one or two break their way. And all of a sudden we're like, let's say they beat New England in week 1. Then they have Chargers, Washington, Chicago, Indy, Tennessee. Like that's pretty manageable. Like if they can get through that.
Oh, absolutely.
Then they still have the Giants later. They have the Browns later. They have the Jags later. Like they can, I just think that and every year there's the jolt when you get the new coach and the new quarterback that suddenly this like team that everyone wrote off turned into something. And I didn't make a case for any other team this year. So the Raiders are my team.
Okay. So Raiders playoffs plus 370. Matt, can I interest you in just taking Bowers over 10-25 and a half? I mean, he had I think 1,100 yards last season. Like year two, I think he's gonna. I think he's a monster, dude. And you just don't stop guys like this. And so I like Bowers over.
He was at almost 1,200 last year on 153 targets. That'll obviously probably go down a
He
little
won't
bit.
have as many, but
they probably won't be.
He might be,
so far behind all the time.
But he'll be impactful because he'll have a quarterback and get him the ball where it needs to be as well.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that's interesting. It's interesting how sharp all these numbers are.
Well, yeah, because we waited so long. I mean, if we had done this in March, it would be different. But this is when the props are up now, so that's part of the issue as well, right?
I actually think it's benefiting us because all the pros have come in and bet the under, and that's like a pretty reasonable total. I just want to point out Pete Carroll, since 2012, from 2012 to 2023, he had one losing season in Seattle, and that was a 7-10 year. So I think taking the over is pretty safe. He had double-digit wins, I think, 8 times, if I did that math quickly. So another reason to buy into them. Yeah. I know we just bet on Hampton to win Rookie of the Year, but Ashton Jeanty is going to get the ball constantly, and I think he's the most pro-ready back I think I've probably ever seen. So I know that's sort of dumb to bet him A as the favorite, and B when we just bet another running back in the division. But I still do think I think his favorite status is warranted, don't you?
I think so as well. So you want to put him in there for Jeanty here? Jeanty offensive rookie of the year. So one last thing too. The Raiders, what level of playoff team are they? They second or third in division?
One of them. Yeah, I like where you're going.
Well,
Chiefs 1-2 wild card round.
Chiefs, no. Chiefs, Raiders 1-2 finishes 14-1.
Oh, that's really fun. Oh, that's great. I love that. I had another one that's less fun than that.
Okay.
But yeah, let's do that one. What could I entice you into Pete Carroll Coach of the Year plus 1,600?
You can certainly do that.
Interesting. All right. So you're with me. You're buying in on this team. Is it because we just aren't moved by the other two teams in this division? Is that why?
I made this point, a couple over the years, right? Like I think that when you're very passionate about something, I like to ride with it because it makes like it works, like it does. And so for a couple of times I'd be like, no, I'm not making that pick, and then it ends up being the right side. You love this, and we do this podcast together. So let's put it. Look, we have a lot of money to spend. Let's start spending in this division. And look, these are low level wagers, right? We're not spending a ton of money on Chiefs, Raiders 1-2 or Pete Carroll Coach of the Year. If we're wrong, look, I'm being honest. We're putting 3 units probably on Chiefs to win the division. Okay,
yeah, that feels low.
So we can make it up if the Raiders don't win it very much. We'll find ways to make up the money if that happens. If you have a big enough bankroll and you're smart about it, you can find ways to make it happen. All right, so that's it for our first division. If you're watching YouTube, don't go anywhere. If you're listening to the podcast, we'll be back in just a second. All right, Matt, we're back. It's time for the NFC West, our final division. Interesting division. I flip-flop a lot on what I think this division can be. But let's start with the team at the top, the 49ers.
I don't understand it, but the 49ers have the highest win total in this division at 10.5. The sharp side is the under at -125 over +105. -210 to make the playoffs, +155 to win the division. Man, I wanted to come out really strongly and fade this team. Their schedule is such a joke, but I don't know how you can in good conscience bet this team over. I just don't. Every single year.
Very easily.
Okay, make the case.
Matt, they're going to beat the shit out of all the teams they play on their schedule. Their schedule is so easy. They are a team with first place talent in division playing a 4th place division schedule because of what happened last season. Seattle, New Orleans, Arizona, Jacksonville, at Los Angeles, at Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Houston, the Giants, the Rams again, the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Browns. The last 5 games, 6 games, ready? Carolina, Cleveland, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Chicago, Seattle. If they stay healthy, they're going to win 13 games.
Right. And they never stay healthy. Since 2018, 4th most injured, 19, 6th, 20, 1st, 21, 3rd, 22, 9th, 2023, interesting, 29th most injured, make the Super Bowl, 2024 most injured. And now we're saying oh, well, this year, Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be healthy now this year. This is going to be the year.
Well,
He's 29.
We
He's
can
going to
get to
be
him in a
back.
second.
Brandon Ayuk, he'll come back. He definitely will be healthy again. Trent Williams, he's 36. What draft class of 2007? Like he'll be fine. They'll all be healthy. Like no,
Yeah.
they're not. They're never healthy. So I
Yeah.
agree with you that they can still win these games even with just like Brock Purdy and the defense with Salah back. Love that. Like they can still be a contender. But I just don't see them being this team that warrants a juggernaut status when they just can never stay on the field and everyone's just another year older. And then a lot of their depth pieces and sort of their secondary stars, like the guys who Denver's trotting out as the future of their franchise on defense, like they just don't have the horses that they used to have. Like who's their best receiver in week 1? Honestly, like it's Kittle, and then Jennings might not even play. Pearsall hasn't really shown anything. Ayuk, who knows what his deal is? Like who are we talking about?
That's certainly fair. But if they do stay healthy, they're winning the division. Like that, they're going to go way over.
But they never stay healthy, ever.
Oh, I agree.
We have 7 years of data.
So I like McCaffrey under 950.5 rushing yards for this exact reason. It worries me that they went and traded for Brian Robinson Jr. for McCaffrey, a guy off double Achilles tendonitis injuries, and you don't trade for like a backup. You trade for a bona fide starting running back in the NFL. Doesn't that worry you, Matt? Like that to me just strikes like they just don't think McCaffrey
100%.
can make it all season, and they want to have a reliable backup that matters so much for their offense. So let's go ahead and just get Brian Robinson. I like McCaffrey under 950.5.
It's fun. I kind of feel like you can't make that argument and then say they're going to go over, because what is their offense without him?
Well, I think Brian Robinson can pick up. You know me. I'm not someone who is high on running backs being the reason you win or lose. And if they can just get themselves in a position where Brian Robinson can take over that slack, they're going to be fine.
He's like, I wish I had the stat on hand. I mean, he doesn't make any extra plays. He gets you what's there. And I don't feel like
Eddie George.
Yeah, right. Eddie George. I don't know who that's insulting to, but I feel
definitely like, Eddie George. Definitely Eddie George. Yeah.
I feel like if you're believing in the Niners, you kind of have to bet on McCaffrey to have a huge year. And I think the fact that they have him under 950, like or that 950 is his total, like, okay, so then how are they beating you? Like, what are they going to be doing so well? Is it Kittle, who, by the way, he was the only one who was healthy last year, and he's never been healthy for a full season. I don't know, man. I've seen it with Brian Robinson. Like when he's the 6th best option on your offense, you're in good shape. When he's the plan, it's not amazing. There's a reason he got a 6th round pick back. I don't know. I think
so we'll just play McCaffrey under then.
I mean, is miss the playoffs plus 170 just insane? Is that just a total throwaway?
Yeah,
like
they're just not gonna. That's just a 100% wager on them being injured again this season, like all injured again this season.
But it happens all the time. I think.
Well, it happens every other year. Every year
except 1 year where they made the Super Bowl.
And then they made the Super Bowl twice in the last 5 years, right? So basically, it's those 2 years.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I'm wrong. Everyone in the world is on the other side of this, and I will probably be wrong, but. I don't know. I don't see them as this huge contender, especially with this other team, with the next team in the division. Are you ready to move on, or do you want to keep talking about the?
No, the next team is the most interesting one. So go ahead.
Oh, I saw a clip of you saying you were out on this team. I'm wondering if you've changed your mind on a different podcast, one that's just obviously not as good as this one. Just no offense to your guy Bear. The Rams over 9.5 is minus 145, under plus 120. Make the playoffs minus 160, plus 200 to win the division. So you said earlier this offseason you were out because of the Stafford stuff. Are you back in, or where are you?
I can't play an over on a team that has a quarterback with a back injury that can't practice, Matt. I just don't. If he's 22, 23, 24, maybe he's 37, but he gets hit wrong in that back, and that's the end of it for weeks, I think. And so I want to back the Rams. Like I even think backing the Rams all the way to like lose in the championship weekend is a fair wager to make.
Hmm.
But you can't do that if you don't, if you don't have a healthy quarterback. Because that's again, Matt Stafford, if healthy, I really think this team is going to be very, very good. Their defense, young, outstanding. I like the Adams trade or was it free agency acquisition. I like what they did in offense. Like everything, the pieces are all in the right direction, Matt. But the question is, I just don't see. I can't do it now, not knowing Stafford's health.
It's pretty fair. I'll tell you this. About a month ago, I was trying to start to prepare for these shows, and I made up this little formula that weights the parts of your roster, in order of importance. So the formula I have, it's quarterback, coach, offensive line, the weapons, which can be running backs, receivers, like the Eagles are a good example, like, great running back. So just sort of a broad one. Defensive line, and then just sort of like other. And I put them into this little thing I did, and I was like, let me see if this is accurate. Let me see if my understanding of football is right, which is basically you need a quarterback, you need a coach, you need good protection.
Yeah.
And then, some other stuff. The Chiefs were the best team when I did this. The Eagles were the third best team, and the Rams were the second. And granted, I'm really high on Stafford.
I know.
I think he's awesome. And you just look at the rest of this team, and you're like, yeah, that looks pretty good. Like, offensive line looks pretty good. Like, receivers look pretty good. Front seven looks pretty good.
Do we just do it and just if we lose, we lose?
I mean,
Rams over. Basically, the Rams over is what
I mean, the total is basically such that they're saying that he's not going to play the whole season. And I think the play would be to win the division plus 200 because a lot of different things can happen there. I'm not afraid of the Cardinals or the Seahawks at all.
No, I'm not either.
But if Stafford plays the full season, if he plays the full season, even if the Niners are healthy, they are better, in my opinion.
I think it's fair. Yeah, if he plays the Rams, like I said this a lot of times. I think that actually the Rams might have a worse record than the Niners because of the schedule, but the Rams will be better than the 49ers. If that makes sense.
It does. They also I know everybody thinks Jimmy Garoppolo stinks, but if they have to get through a few games with him, if it's the right time of the schedule, you mentioned the end of the year for the Niners, they end Seattle, Atlanta, Arizona in the last few weeks. We'll see. Maybe, I think Garoppolo can win a few of those games.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be a bigger buyer in this team. And if Stafford falls apart, okay, then we lost. But I think betting them to win the division, possibly even winning the NFC, I think they're a great team.
I'm trying to find the lose in the championship round wager. Would you want to play that?
Maybe I didn't look into that one.
The thing is it's hard to find because all the props for this week are already up. I'm trying to go through all these little tabs here. Well, I guess it'll be futures.
Team special.
Oh, stage of elimination. Here we go. You ready? Stage of elimination is what it is. So put the Rams in here. To lose in conference championship game plus 850.
I mean, I'm into it. I mean, what are they to win the conference?
I know.
Well, maybe we can put that in potentially at the end. But I don't know. I'm fine with that. I'm down for anything you believe in that's, plus something that starts with a plus 8.
So the other one I like, by the way, for the Rams is Jared Verse 10 plus sacks.
Yeah.
So rookie last season, 4.5 sacks. And dude, Teron Armstead retired from the Dolphins, and he was talking about reasons why he retired. He kind of jokingly was like, "I didn't want to play Jared Verse again." Like a rookie? That's the reason why. Now, of course, that's not the reason why he's retiring. He's got he's older and had some injuries, but the fact he mentioned Jared Verse, Matt, piqued my interest. I actually have a Jared Verse over 7.5. This is 10 plus now at minus 120.
My goodness.
I think I can get 10 sacks. 10 sacks, double-digit sacks. I'm in for Verse to be 10 plus sacks here.
How about defensive play of the year plus 1,500?
I don't think he's going to get that many sacks.
Fair enough. If they're really good, he could potentially get a look at it.
Absolutely.
They're plus 1,000 to win the NFC, the Rams, which I definitely don't mind. that puts them behind the 49ers, the Commanders. Like, I think that's
Rams
a really
NFC.
fair buy. Yeah, they're just ahead of the Bucks plus 1100.
Can you play both Rams losing conference championship and Rams to win the NFC?
Probably not. That's probably not great practice. We can pick. It's your show. You can pick one.
We'll pick these as we get going here. So we have CMC under for the Niners, Rams division, Rams losing conference championship game, first 10 plus sacks. Obviously, Rams to win the NFC. We'll decide. Again, stay tuned for what we decide there. Man, I tell you what, Matt, I have done 3. It's my third show today with the lights like on my eyeballs. It gets a little bright after a while. You're like, oh, geez, I can't like, it's just lights on my cheese. I'm like trying to keep my eyes open. It's just light blindness. All right.
Well, you know what'll make you feel better is talking about Jonathan Gannon. You want to talk about the Cardinals?
Can we put this on the ban list? I just don't care about the Cardinals at all.
I mean, fair. I'm more than happy to ban the Cardinals, but I think unfortunately we do have to at least take a side on them.
And I think the side to take is some sort of Trey McBride side. Like I buy some Trey McBride stock, and that feels like the way I would play this.
Yeah, so you can take his over 4.5 receiving touchdowns at minus 140. I wonder if we can get that number moved up a little. But yeah, he had a really goofy year where I think after Drake London, he was like the second most targeted player inside the 10, and he had
147 targets in general. 2 last year. He didn't have any touchdown. Only 6 in his career. That's wild.
It's very strange.
So McBride over 4.5. And what?
Yeah.
Would you say?
Minus 140. It's not great, but we can. Yeah. I'm comfortable laying that one.
Okay. So, dude, Jonathan Gannon to win the coach of the year is a wager. Sharps are hammering, dude.
Yeah, and to that I just say, like, can we use our eyeballs? Like, that's going to be the coach of the year. We're going to say that Kyler Murray in the NFC West with the 49ers and the Rams is going to go. Well, you have to go like 13-4 to win coach of the year. Like, it always goes to the team with like the best record, except if it's Andy Reid. So I have no interest in that. Like, God bless if I'm wrong. I don't know, just like a fun little defense, like the Will Johnson pick. Nolan's already injured.
You know what also is interesting is like this is the team that like the Twitter analytics guys love this season.
Yeah,
they're like big Cardinals fans.
Well, God bless them.
Yes, you're not in the Cardinals either, are you?
No, I don't see it. What's the case? Like, tell me what the case is. It's that they figure it out with Kyler Murray that,
correct. Essentially, yes.
They have a weak schedule again. Like they go New Orleans, Carolina, San Francisco, Seattle, Tennessee, Colts, their first 6 weeks.
I think there's a real live wagering opportunity here to take their live under during the season at some point.
I love that because they go at the end, their hardest stretch, week 13 at Bucks, home Rams, at Texans, home Falcons, at Bengals, at Rams. So they could potentially.
We'll save some of our money for that.
Yeah, they fall apart at the end of the year every year. Last year, they were 6-4, and then they ended up finishing the year 8-9, even though they played the Panthers and Seahawks and the Patriots in that stretch. So I'm out. Sorry, I just don't see it. At some point, you got to believe your eyes.
The Cardinals I don't know if the Cardinals are on the ban list quite yet.
Well, there it is. We've got the Jordan Hudson.
Jordan, that's gonna test our faith for our pick segments coming up here. We put Hershey's dog on there already. Interesting.
Yeah,
that was like I thought it was a maybe, but it's in. Trevor Lawrence. I don't even know who Tyler Loop is. That's my favorite part. I think he's a kicker. Yeah. The game wants to ban all kickers.
Yeah, I think all kickers should be banned.
You know what's funny is so this Cardinals Saints game week 1. By the time we record, I don't know what the number is going to be, but if the Saints hit 7 points, man, that is a lot of points in the NFL.
We're talking about all these banned teams, and we're betting all of them in the first week. Like we're talking, we're going to take this. We're going to take this stupid Colts. We're going to take all these stupid teams. All right, so we have one more team.
I like some wagers on this team.
All right, why don't we take our last break here, and then we'll come back for the Seahawks of Seattle after this.
Okay, Matt, we're back for the Seahawks of Seattle, who, by the way, have these. The NFL put out these like rivalry uniforms, and they
Yeah.
look just like Oregon's uniforms. And Seattle fans are not happy because a lot of them are Washington Husky fans who hate Oregon, and the uniforms look very much like Oregon Duck uniforms. So very funny. Um, I'm out in Seattle. That's simple, Matt.
I love it.
Darnold under 34.5 is going to be played here. Excuse me, not 3,400. Yeah, 3,400.5. Why is he good all of a sudden? He did this last year, 1,400 yards last season. That's his best year of his career with the best offensive line he's ever played with, the best wide receiver in the NFL, maybe a top 5 wide receiver room, top 3, Naylor, Addison, Jefferson, a top tight end, one of the better running backs in the NFL, and maybe a top 5 NFL play caller, right? If you're grading play callers,
Yep.
5, I don't know, maybe 3 in a given game or given stretch of time. To Seattle, not the best offensive line, okay running backs, and med wide receivers. Outside in the rain and cold, Matt, way out on Sam Darnold. I'll take under 3,400.5.
Couldn't agree more. This is another team that I think people are just hope casting the Seattle Seahawks to be this way better team. They're going to lose, I think, to Seattle or to San Francisco in week 1. Then they're going to play Pittsburgh in week 2. They have the Saints in week 3. Okay, then Cardinals, Bucks. I think they're starting the season like 1-4, and I get that they have a really talented defense. They add Dexter Lawrence, but their secondary is great. Leonard Williams, I think, is still a really underrated player. But then you look at their offense. The big problem they have. I watched some just the other day. I don't know why. I was watching some Geno highlights. I think to probably help my Raiders case. Every single snap he took last year, he was running for his life with this Seattle offensive line. And I get everyone loves Gray Zabel, whatever. They cannot protect the quarterback at all. And then when you put Sam Darnold into that situation with, Cooper Kupp washed from a year or two ago and Smith and Jigba, like this is not a great supporting cast. I just don't see it, man. Like I think that the Darnold thing is going to backfire on them in a huge way. That they would be better off if they had kept Geno Smith. I think they could be like a clunker of a team, like not just an under 8.5, but maybe we find like a much lower number and take that one. I'm just way out on this team.
I did not think about a team total for them. Is there a last in division wager? Gotta be right.
I think there is.
Division finish somewhere, right? It's probably in the division specials, division standings.
Let me.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Seattle to finish last in division. They're not even up. Oh wait, never mind. This is by division, not by alphabetical order. To finish 4th is actually it's actually the best number, plus 160. Wow,
that's pretty good. You could take them under 7.5 at plus 140, under 6.5 plus 225.
Under, would you say Seattle under what? 6.5?
6.5 is plus 225. 7.5 is plus 140. I think plus 140 for 7.5 is an absolute hammer.
Okay, 147.5. The other one that I like is a Cooper Kupp under 675.5 receiving yards.
Great. Sold.
So the only problem with this one, I got to pull my notebook here. This was just at a better number like months ago, and it's just like one of those where like you just suck it up and take it now. This was at I should have probably done this beforehand, because I'm trying to look through my notes here. Where did I write it down here? But it's like 100 yards less than it. Yeah, I think this was like 825.5.
And it got bet down.
Yeah, to 675.5.
Interesting.
So that's one of the things where it's like, it's so low. Do we just wait? Do we just skip it or just say screw it and do it? All we can do is play the number as it is now.
Well, I have another way to play that one actually.
So here's my case, by the way. So Cooper Kupp, Cooper Kupp, just guess, Matt. 8 seasons. How many 1,000-yard seasons has he had?
Well, he had the one amazing year. I'm going to say 3.
2. That's it. 2.
Oh my God, really?
Because he's always hurt.
Yeah, it took him a while
to
get going.
He's played he started 6 games in 17. He played only 8 games in 18. He played mostly a full season in 19. He started 12 games in 2020. Started 17 for 17 in 21 when he had nearly 2,000 yards. Then 9, 12, and 11.
Wow. Interesting. I'm with you. The way I was going to play that was I like Smith and Jigba this year a lot because I think that they don't have anybody else to get any targets and they're going to be behind a lot. Smith and Jigba, his receiving total yardage total is 975.5. And last year with let me get his numbers pulled up here. Last year he was targeted constantly, even though he was third on the depth chart. Last year he had 100 receptions, 137 targets, 1,130 yards. And that was with, sharing a lot of targets with Metcalf and Lockett. So I think that's a strangely low number. And if you're fading Kupp, somebody's going to have to catch all his passes. So I think he's going to be like a really unsexy but very productive receiver this year.
We have a lot of wagers for these divisions. I didn't expect this. We have some rollover money.
We do.
So we can spend some rollover money in this. All right, Matt. Any last thoughts before the season starts? Who's your Super Bowl prediction?
Well, I think I'm going to stick with the Rams and just assume that Stafford will be healthy enough by January.
Okay.
And the Chiefs. I think I'll say Chiefs over Rams will be my prediction. How about you?
So for Fox Sports, I said Bills over Niners. I just think that if the Bills, they got to do it at some point, you think, right, Matt?
Maybe. I don't know. I think Baltimore might be better than them. So if I was going to take another team, I think I would take Baltimore.
No Commanders, huh?
I can't do that. I can't do that to my guys. I think there's a chance that they're in the mix there, but everyone's so out on them. It's making me a little bit worried. Everyone loves the Giants to upset them on Sunday. Like I feel like everyone's dragging the Commanders. By
the time we do our show with our best bets, that Commanders might be like only laying 5.5 or 5.
I know. It's really incredible. People are so out on them.
I'm not. I'm very much in on the Commanders. So I get it. They didn't play as good quarterbacks last season. I understand all the things. I get it. But
everyone's fine with Denver. Who did they beat? They didn't beat anybody.
Correct. I think that Jay Daniels is a special talent.
Couldn't agree more.
Special talent.
I showed the other day my son Jack, who's almost 2, was inconsolable, and I was like, all right, I'm putting on. He calms down when I put sports on, which is awesome.
Really?
And I showed him this video that our producer Hank and I have watched maybe 100 times, which is just an hour-long Jaden Daniels highlight reel from last season. And I was like, there's Jaden. Like, Jaden's the guy. He's our guy. And now he just, every time the TV's on, he just points and goes, Jaden, the guy. And I'm like, that's my boy. He's learning.
I love that so much. What was he inconsolable about? Nothing important.
I think we took a tennis ball away. If I recall.
Yeah, just something just like not even important whatsoever.
Yeah, important to him.
All right, buddy. Well, here's my child who interrupts me at all times. Hello, Emerson.
Let's see him.
Well, come here. What'd you make? What's oobleck?
It's so basically when you press it hard and fast, your finger stays on top, but when you go like that, your finger goes in.
Yeah, it's a solid and liquid.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Science experience.
No, I'm still recording. Like I'm still.
Hey guys.
And you make it with cornstarch and water.
Yeah, it's so easy.
How big of a mess am I going to walk to downstairs?
Thing.
No, Alex. The mess. Is there a mess down there?
Yeah.
Okay, kids. I love you guys. I'll be down in 2 minutes.
You didn't buy clean.
All right. Well, Matt, that is the parent corner of a 9 and 11-year-old who come home from school and just start making just a giant mess downstairs. All right, buddy. You have a good one.
You
we'll
too,
be back
pal.
tomorrow with best bets. And I'll go make sure it's not a mess in my house
Week
before
1.
my wife gets
Let's
home.
go.
Week 1 is here.
Futures are done.
I can't tell you how excited I've been this last couple of days to talk college football, to talk the NFL, talk all of this. So we'll be back with you tomorrow, NFL Week 1 bets. I'll give you a warning, everyone who's listening. If you're still here right now, thank you. Please rate, review, subscribe. I probably should mention at the beginning. Football America, we need the YouTube views. That's a big thing now. that our bosses would like to help us with is get the YouTube views. We pick ugly sides, letting you know.
Yep.
If you're coming here for us to pick big favorites, not the right show for you. We're gonna pick ugly sides. We're just gonna do it, and that's what it is. And you have to just suck it up and accept that if you listen to the show. I'm sorry, that's my disclaimer. I'll probably give it tomorrow as well, Matt, but I feel like I had to say it because if you listen for a long time, thank you for still being here. If you're new here, we're trying to win. Like, we're really trying to win. We wager on these games. We're trying to win. The only way you win the National Football League is you bet ugly, gross teams and you hold your nose. And last year was a huge public year, Matt. It's coming back to earth this season, and those are sides to be on. So we'll be back tomorrow with all that. Talk to you guys then.
See you, buddy.